Joined by the 2016 Rising Star Award winner, Marcus Miller. Marcus, were you surprised when you heard that you won the award?
I wasn't exactly surprised. I had a pretty good year last year, but I was definitely very excited.
Now, we asked you before, having a little fun off camera, what's a bigger deal in the Miller household? The back-to-back Hannah Miller Amateur Driver of the Year Awards or the Marcus Miller Rising Star Award?
I think the coolest part about it is that we were both getting an award on the same night. I think that's pretty special, and I know Dad's very proud, but Mom is especially proud.
So if I give Irv a little truth serum at the Vegas dinner, maybe he'll tell me which one he thinks is a bigger deal.
Well, he'll definitely say Hannah.
Well, Hannah's pretty good when you repeat as amateur driver, because I don't think they like to do that back to back. So I got to give her, that's a lot of credit for that. And maybe she can do it again, so that'd be fun.
I think so for sure.
Yeah. But let's take a look at some of the Marcus Miller drives tonight. Let's start in the first here with Trot-A-Lot. Is a 10-year-old. New training name here, James Dunn. On the board, 19 to 32. What do we think?
You know, he did qualify pretty well last week, and he might need a start, but he's got a little back class there, so he's okay.
All right, let's turn over to race 2, second half of the double. A 4-year-old mare, a Flamborough shipper, never any doubt. It's been on the board the last 3. The trainer has a couple in here, 53-1 Mohawk mark, not bad.
Yeah, you know, the Flamborough lines are a little suspect, but, you know, Mohawk is more like this place is, so we'll try to look at those ones.
How much time do you spend handicapping your drives, you know, before you get to the track, would you say?
You know, I try to look at the program, you know, I go over the whole thing one time and then each race individually right before the race. But, you know, probably half an hour, you know, before the races start. Okay,
now if you're not in, say, races 1, 3, and 4, do you watch how the track is playing too?
Oh, you absolutely have to, especially this time of year when it's windy. You know, the weather plays such a huge variable. When the front end's no good, it's no good, and just the same thing from the other side. So if you're not, you're doing yourself a big disservice.
Because last night it looked like the front end was holding up pretty good, and every favorite, all 9 favorites, won last night. Only one horse paid over 2 to 1. So does that factor into your decision how you're going to drive tonight?
You know, you got to take each night. It is pretty similar weather-wise tonight, so it'll probably be along the same lines. But you'll be able to tell after the first race or two what's going to happen. Okay, we're joined by Marcus Miller, the 2016 Rising Star Award winner. Race 3, Granite State. No victory since 2015, but you did qualify second. But the 2-year-old mark of 57-4 still stands. The Dam Bella Dolce was a good one. I think this horse was meant to be a little better than this. You know what? I think you're exactly right. He's definitely got some talent. He was a little flat last week, but that's fair enough considering how long he'd been off. I think he's a very nice horse. He's a little bit of a hothead, so got to try to keep him quiet. But he's definitely better than those lines look.
Okay, let's switch over to race 5. Now for Playboy Rusty. Playboy Rusty's 33 of 55 career starts were made last year. A lot of 5s, 5 wins, 5 seconds, 5 thirds, and 55 career starts. But he's been a long shot, 40 to 1 and 10 to 1 last 2. Any reason we can use Playboy Rusty tonight?
You know what? If you actually watched that replay last week, when we came off the last turn, he looked like a winner, and just dead late, the last 8th or so, he kind of fell apart. And Julius is always tinkering with him, so if he kind of gets that last little push in, he's got a better shot than he looks like. He'll still be a price, and he deserves to be. But I like him more than you would think probably.
Okay, now race 7, BL Class Act. Okay, he's a 10-year-old. Now he's a son of Classic Photo. Before we even look at the horse, what do you know about Classic Photo?
Yeah, I think that was my first Hamiltonian that I watched here from the grandstand with my dad on the track.
And that was the favorite. That was the first time we went $1.5 million in Hambo, 2005. A couple of SJ's photos hit the wire when Vivid Photo won and Classic Photo was second. Roger Hammer and Ron Pierce. It was a great race, fun stuff. And the Hamiltonian never gets old, does it?
Yeah, Roger probably had one of the best stretch drive celebrations ever. He's pretty famous for that big, like lasso he was throwing down the lane.
And you got to give him credit too, because he didn't panic at all. You know what I mean? He was in the big stage and he went and he was patient and he won going away. It was pretty impressive there.
Roger knows what the word panic means. He's a pretty tough dude.
He's a pretty cool guy, is right. Okay, race 8. On the 20th anniversary of Brett Favre winning his only Super Bowl, we have Brett McFarvelous, who's been 40 to 1, 58 to 1, and 89 to 1 last 3, but did win a 10-claimer at Parks 5 starts back. What about this?
Scotty D, all he does is win races, it seems like, so I'm sure he'll turn around at some point, and hopefully we're on board at that time.
Okay, my best value play of the night is in the ninth. You got the rail, Noel Daly, inside speed, a consistent mare, 56, 56 and 1 the last three. Am I on to something here?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to be forwardly placed, so she'd be one to watch. If the front end is holding up, that's where we'll plan on being. So if it works out, there's a few scratches in there. That always helps, too. I like her. I think she is probably my best shot tonight.
Okay, and then we'll turn to race 11 for Odds on Key West. Odds on Key West has got post 8. Tony Alagna's here for Odds on Racing. Those are some names. How do you go back? How far do you go back with Odds on and Tony?
So Tony I've known since I was a kid. He worked for my dad when I worked for my dad. And then Odds On, I used to drive a lot of horses for them at Balmoral. We won a lot of opens with some good mares back then. So, yeah, it's kind of like old Chicago, Illinois crew for me.
Now, you're 27. You just won the award. What's the difference between Marcus Miller at 27 and, let's say, 5 years ago at 22? A guy hasn't seen you. He's just coming out to the track for a while. He remembers you from 5 years ago. What will he see different now than he did then?
I think you get a lot more confident Marcus Miller than maybe you did a few years ago. I know how the races go out here. I know these guys out here now, and I think, yeah, just a lot more confidence.
And what's the biggest thing in your career right now? Is it driving for the Miller stable, or is it catch driving?
You know, they go hand in hand. Most of my good horses come from the Miller stable. You gotta do well with those to get confidence, and I'm getting a lot of work from other good trainers. You know, I drove a few really nice horses for Chris Ryder last year. You know, several guys. I mean, lots of good trainers. Tom Fanning. Just about everybody that was out here at some point. I was driving nice horses for him, and I think that's all part of it. You got to do well with what you've got, and then more comes your way.
And looking at the ages of some of the other drivers on the card tonight, I don't think I can call you a youngster anymore when I'm looking at 22 and 23 for Drew Monty and Joey Bongiorno.
That's why I grew the beard. I'm one of the old veterans.
You're hiding.
Now.
Yeah, he's hiding. The 11th race, Odds on Key West, number 8, 6 out of 15. Competed in the Simpson. What about the chances here?
Yeah, she's got high speed. She had qualified very well. You know, it wasn't a fast mile, but she had a lot of pace. So she's, probably needs a start coming from the back tonight. But I would guess if something crazy happens, she's got enough talent to be close.
I think tomorrow night I picked a horse, Parnu Hanover. I loved his race. I love the way he's coming along. He's 6 years old now, right, and not really heavily raced. His best days, no doubt, in my mind, are in front of him.
I really hope so. My wife owns a piece of him. He's a very, very fast horse. He's definitely the fastest horse that we've had, me and my wife own. And if we can just get everything lined up at the right time, that 91 and 50 out here, that was like a 48 mile. It seemed like it was way the fastest mile that night. And he's just got so much speed, so much talent. If we just got to get everything lined up, and hopefully he clicks this summer, I think he could have a big summer.
Will the photographers be spending most of their time at the Miller table at the Vegas Awards dinner? I don't mean so much because you guys are winning awards, but because I think Hannah is so photo friendly, so camera friendly. I think the Miller table may attract a little bit of attention that night.
Yeah, she's definitely the cuter one of the two kids.
All right, Marcus Miller, thanks so much for stopping by. Congrats on the award, and your first Breeders' Crown drive last year resulted in a victory. That had to be a lot of fun. Good luck tonight, and good luck tomorrow night, and tell everybody we said hello, especially in Vegas. Have fun.
Thank you very much.
You got it.